Hi, beautiful Aries. Welcome to New Era. My name's Emma. Aries, this is your monthly read for October of 2024. I do want to apologize that it's been forever since I've done your reading. I think you got one for August, and actually half of the chunk of the signs actually only got for July. So you're still in the better half. But yeah, so the last one was August, and now it's for October. So it's been a while. It's been due to technical difficulties, give or take. Long story short, I've gotten a lot of help to just really fix this now, and been trying to just get catch up with all the personal readings. And then now I'm back for you guys. So with no further ado, we're going to go into your reading for October, 6 weeks into the future, give or take. And we're going to start with an overall energy and then really get into the message. I hope you're doing good, Aries, in these changing times. We have a lot of solar flares, eclipses, a lot of stuff going on. Resilience. So you seem to be doing okay, or you're being inspired to do okay. You're being inspired to rise above tribulations. So like whatever's happening in your life right now, whatever's that's being thrown at you, you're advised, you're inspired to just rise above it, to like not go into it, but rather just deal with it, and yeah, like not to wait around, not to see where it's going to fall or where it's going to land, not engage in it, but rather just deal with it, rise above it and just deal with it. Seems to be the fastest way to get out of any hardship right now. See if we can resilience, rise above tribulations. We have a like a super moon in the background there. It's a little bit tricky to get there. And this is like my Cinderella card. So it's like whatever is happening at midnight where you think the other shoe is going to drop. So that might also be something that's going on, that you're going towards something right now, or for in the month of October, where you really want to see an outcome, and you might be a little bit scared that the other shoe is going to drop, meaning you might be a little bit worried or afraid that whatever you have, like your vision set to, your eyes set on, like whatever you are planning, there might be a little bit of a worry that it's not going to come to fruition, or that it looks good right now, but what's going to happen? And nothing's going to happen. It's a little bit of like, get out of that mindset, because actually everything's looking quite good. If you're not interfering with it, like engaging with the stuff that happens that's of a little bit of a lower vibration, I'd steer away from the lower vibration as much as possible. Whatever's going on in other people's realities doesn't necessarily have to be your reality, if that makes sense. Okay, going deeper into this message, resilience. There might be a lot of stuff that has happened for you that you just feel like you just need to become stronger than the situation itself, so that you don't cave under circumstances. And I see the staircase is like, really turns out to be quite pink. Doesn't look as pink there, but like on the table here, it looks really pink. Like really feminine and really pink, like really inviting as to like rise above, right? Go higher. When they go low, we go high. Do you know that expression? I think you know that expression in the Americas more than anywhere else in the world. Okay, what do we have for Aries, please, for the month of October, or 6 weeks into the future, please? First card out. Fork in the road. Fork in the road. So there seems to be some sort of decision, like to decide. There's 13, so that's divine feminine there again. There's really the feminine energy here. Ideas, visions, fantasies, even dreams. Having a lot of thoughts about where you want to go. Making a choice to where to navigate in your life. A change in the wind. Wow. There's a lot of changes for you for the month of, and then we have 12, which is the masculine energy. So, like a beautiful balance between the masculine and the feminine, not too much of ideas that just get scattered and nothing really happens, and not too much rigid, structured, plan, but an equal amount, like a balance between the masculine and the feminine. Obviously, always is the best medicine, is the best formula for whatever it is that you're doing. But it seems like to really pay attention. So it's not just all ideas and thoughts and you're not really doing anything about them, or you just do without any real backing up of what it, so that the day just don't take over in you're just doing what you're supposed to do and there's no real inspired feminine energy in there. But we need a little bit of both here to really go through this change that you're going through right now and to really be able to make good decisions for yourself. And a new life. This is just gorgeous. I mean, Aries, this is okay. So I just want to show you that first. New life. So fork in the road, 13. And due to this resilience, because the resilience card or the resilience energy is the like foundation for it all. So it might feel like this feeling of whatever this is for you. This is like a llama, and we have a monkey on top there, and we have an arrow pointing in one direction and two arrows pointing in the other direction. So to me, this just means that we might have gone like one step forward, two steps back. And that's the feeling of like you're trying to change something or you're trying to transform something, whether that's work, whether that's love life, whether that's health, whether that's just life overall. Maybe there's a move, you're thinking about a move, whatever this is for you, that it feels like you take one step forward and then there's a setback, that there's two steps back. So rather than two steps forward, one step back, this is a little bit challenging. This is why we have the resilience there to not read into it too much, saying like, well, if it's this messy, it probably isn't for me. I think that's not the truth. I think the truth here is because you're trying to change something and you really are getting out of something that has been so familiar, like what you're leaving, what you're moving away from is the dominant vibration, is the dominant life or dominant reality that you've seen the longest. And therefore, when you try to change, you're getting going and then it feels like there's a setback. So what I'm getting around that is that as much as you possibly can, then to just rise above it, to not like start to analyze, why is this happening? What this is showing up now? Like then probably, no, just rise above it. Just almost like almost like a boxing, this is how you look when you box, a boxing situation where you sort of navigate around, like you move out of the punches and then just continue to move ahead, basically. And then a change in the wind. So this is, I mean, there is a change in the wind right now. Like whether it's a change in the wind on your individual level or not, you probably have felt that there's a bigger shift. I mean, obviously what you look at is going to expand. In my life, whatever I'm, drawn to right now, whatever I'm putting on the computer, YouTube, television, whatever, I just see this change everywhere. Like there's just this, and obviously law of attraction works in that way too. So there can be people that don't see this change at all because they don't choose it. You're down to an individual level. There's really a big change happening in your life, a big transformation. And it might be, please focus. It might be, okay, so this is asking you to actually not be this rigid because we have the 12 there, which is the masculine energy. The zebra, right? It's very black and white. It's not no gray areas. So it's very black and white. And so it's asking, because I see a face coming through there, it's asking you to sort of see through the black and white, go into the gray area, go into the not knowing, go into the let me be surprised, instead of trying to be sticking around in the very, like, this is either black or white. No, it's not that rigid. Try to open up to a possibility that, okay, I want to make this change. I feel this change. I feel this transformation. But maybe it is that you don't have like a clear view exactly of how this is going to show up. Is it going to entail a different relationship? Is it going to entail a different group of friends, a new community, a new work situation, change careers altogether, go into retirement? Like what does it look like? And instead of trying to make it out to be exactly how you think it's supposed to be, and when it doesn't show up in the way that you thought it was supposed to be, there's a little bit of a setback. So instead of deciding how it's going to look, try to get into the gray area. Oh, if that makes sense. Get surprised by life instead. The change is happening anyway. So it's not like you have to continuously have to do a lot of things for it to change. The change is already underway. It's leading you to a new life. I'm supposed to read from the book, so I will. I think you really have been waiting for this new life. I'm gonna read from the book. I will. What I'm getting though, before I get colored by what's in the book, I just want to say what's coming through first there. So I just want to say, you might have put. So you might be in a situation, whether that's a feeling of your entire life, or that's a feeling around work, or a feeling around relationships, health, whatever. You might have put this new life on a pedestal. So this woman, like she's sitting on like very high up on this, there you go. On this pedestal, and it's like you're viewing this new life or new relationship or new work situation or new, like when I'm getting to that new life, then. So it's like you're putting something up on a pedestal, and when you put something up on a pedestal, it's rather hard to reach. And so I just feel like coming into this new life, bring it down a notch, be more open to the changes that you want to make might not necessarily look the way you think they're going to look, but they will for sure feel the way you want to feel. Make sense? Okay, reading from the book 39. And that's again a 12. So that's another masculine energy, quite rigid energy that we need to just sort of soften into the feminine a little bit. Is going to really help you. 39, 35, 38, and 39. New life. It's a new life. Aries. Very purple. Can we please? There you go. Well, you know how it looks. Essential meanings of this card is birth of new ideas. That's feminine. Growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. I'm very drawn to that, life renewing itself. Like it doesn't really matter what you're doing right now. You're not going to be at a standstill for much longer. You might already feel this change happening or this transformation take place. If you don't feel it, don't worry. Like this change, you're gonna feel it, because life is gonna start to transform itself. It might sound like you're not in control or that you don't have a say in it, but the thing is, you have a say in it, and you already said you want this change. So now the life is like taking you with it. So listen to what you're being guided to or from right now. The Oracle's message states, when spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you, and new ideas, sorry. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. And there I get a little bit of this feel again, like, yeah, really, I don't know. Like this other shoe is gonna drop. I don't know if this is really gonna take place. Yeah, there's a slight um mistrust in this shift. Like, is it really going to take place type of feel. Relationship message. New energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with a sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. So this could literally mean for some of you guys that you actually are meeting more like new people, romantic partnerships, friendships, new communities, all of that when spring is starting. And obviously, in the northern hemisphere where I'm at, we're moving to a colder climate right now. So we are going to move into winter now and then have spring, right? But in the southern hemisphere, you're now moving into, you're like in spring right now and moving into summer. So I just feel like it's not going to be that the southern hemisphere is a little bit before us, although they sometimes are. I just feel like probably like think a season into the future. So we're going to have like either a summer season or winter season is first going to take place, and think of it as like give it one more season and then you'll start to see true change, really. And don't be like, oh my god, it's yet another season away. Do you know how fast that moves? Like if you're thinking about where you're at right now, if I'm thinking about like sitting here in Sweden and I'm like hours away from October, so this year is going to be done in a second. And if something really big changed for me, like in around, let's say March, April-ish, that's really soon. If you knew that was going to take place. And it doesn't mean that stuff doesn't happen until then. It's just a lot of changes seems to be going on for you around. So Aries, that's actually your season. So as you're coming into your birthday season, a lot of changes seems to be happening there for you. Okay. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. Prosperity message. You have every reason to be optimistic right now, as things seem to fall into place very magically. New opportunities remind you that abundance is available to you. Delight in the bounty that begins to appear in surprising forms. That's it. It should be a surprise. It should be expected, and it should be what you want it to feel like, but when it shows up and how it shows up should be as a beautiful surprise. So leave that up to the universe. Stay curious and know that your hopes and dreams are being fulfilled. It's as if new life suddenly infuses your projects, work, and creative ideas with a kind of electricity that crackles with exciting potential. Fortune is smiling on you. So it's a really beautiful energy here. Like you really are moving into a better place. And I think that the more that you can just stop resisting this new place or try to have a preconceived idea of exactly how that's going to look, and the universe is like doing the best they can to just really fit into that vision. But the more that you can release that and just be not so much as a zebra, be in the gray area and expect surprises, and you will feel so much better. Okay, a couple more cards here for Aries for the month of October, please. Strengthening bonds, number 1, new beginning, walking towards what it is that you want. Strengthening that belief. It's exactly what we've been talking about. We have lead, number 4, which is very Aries. So we have 1 and 4, which is 14. They come strongly together, which is a new beginning for the heart. So we're starting with the strengthening of the bonds. This is just And this is very spring like to me as well, like a season away, walking towards, like, I'm not too much for the fake it till we make it expression, but like act as if, or if you can tune into your future self or the highest possible version that of you that exists out there right now. If you can sit with that, if you can sit with her or him and just feel into feel into what this light feels like. If you have an idea of your future, of this change, of this transformation, this new life, if you have an idea, there's a version there already living it. So if you can tap into that version, if you can sit with that in meditation, if you can just imagine what is this person up to already being there, and then sort of take on their attributes as much as how do they walk, how do they talk, what do they do, and then sort of replicate that as much as you can is one way to go about it. Obviously, if you have another way where you just strengthening bonds, for me is now like strengthening the belief that the new life that you're reaching for, that the new life that you're changing into is actually going to happen, because I feel like there's a lack of trust here. So you're strengthening the bond, like you're strengthening your belief, almost like your brain needs a little bit of a workout to just really trust that this is underway for real. And whatever you can do to strengthen that is really going to help you. And then we have the lead card, which is you probably have been like more on your shadow side for quite some time, Aries, and it's time to sort of step into the light. Okay, that's interesting. My son has lately been into very much like you have two pictures, and it's like you're supposed to find three or five differences. Like you, in one there's a crown, and the other one there's no crown, and one there's an animal, and the other one there's no animal. It's the same picture, but like there's three or five things that actually is different. And sometimes it takes him like a second to figure it out. And sometimes we really have to sit with it to see actually what is different. And there's something about it that stands out here to me today. Like, look what you have in the light and look what you don't have in the shadow. Um, and okay, so two things coming through there. Interesting. One is that it's actually quite detrimental to where you're going to compare. It's almost like you have this idea about who you once were, that like you remember it as the glory days, or like it was better back when, or when I was doing this or that, it was so much easier, it was so much better, and you compare it to now. And because you compare it like that was a better time to now, it's hard to move away from. It's hard to make this your most precious and most brilliant and most passionate time, because there's a comparison going on to your past, if that makes sense. That's not going to resonate for all, but I feel like that is going on for some of you guys. And then there's another that's really beneficial, that is, if you compare, if you see like, okay, what's going on now and where you're going, it might not look all that different. But if you take sometimes a second, or if you take sometimes a couple of minutes to just really sit with it, what's going to be the difference? What's the thing that you notice stands out that actually is a new thing? And you might have to look for a bit, because you might be so sure that no, nothing's changed. I'm in the same old life. Nothing's moving, blah, blah, blah. But as you take a moment to really look, like to really go look for it, what actually is different here? If there's like one thing, like in these pictures, is like three or five things, and even if it's just three, and we're sitting there and like figuring out like which one is it, like it's as I probably wouldn't go look for those images and try to figure that out, but as he brings it to me, I'm having just as much fun as he is. It's really fun to notice what the difference is. And I think if you just really sit with it for a bit and like, yeah, a moment ago I actually didn't have that and now I do. But the thing is, you might have to sit with it for 3 or 5 minutes, excuse me, before you even find what's new, because you're so accustomed to the way things were. And that's going to really help you to look for the things that is different, that's moving you in the right direction, to point out what is different, and then obviously for the better, like for a solution, for a change, for a transformation. Something's moving in the right direction. And then start to claim that new, like step into the lead of this, step into the light of this. It's not to forget your shadow side or for like, I don't want to hang around there. You need both. We need balance. We need the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the positive and the negative, just as much. But we also need a balance from the light, from the positive, because then the shadow side has really been taking over for quite some time, I feel. And you know that side now. Now we need to put yourself in the lead position and really hone in on whatever it is. Like really, really look for the things to stand out that actually is that actually is evidence of your life changing. Okay, I'm gonna have the angels wrap this up and come with some information, some answers. What do we have for Aries, please, for the month of October? A big yes. There's so much about the balance. This is so interesting. Look at that. Big yes. And in this deck, we have like a yes with no exclamation mark. And this is a yes with an exclamation mark. So it's like, yes, whatever you're doing, it's a big yes. And then we have, look at that. We have a gold earth and we have a silver earth. We can also call it like the golden age and what we're stepping away from. The light, the shadow. Like it's so much about this yin and yang, the feminine and the masculine that's going on for you right now. So look for that, look for that balance, look for that energetic balance. Seems to be very important for you right now, and it's going to lead to a big yes. It's a yes right now. It's not a no, it's not a negative, it's not in time. It's a huge yes. It's a yes with exclamation mark. And what else, please? Aries, October. Peaceful resolution. I mean, just everything here is pointing towards the betterment of a situation. It's just really want to tell you, like, the other shoe's not going to drop. If there's a worry right now, you can drop the worry or give it to your angels or your guides or whatever, because it's like peaceful. It's so bright colors. It has a little bit of a tough time to pick it up, but you see peaceful resolution. Ask your angels. Give your worry away to your angels. If there's a worry there, if you're, it might not even be as big as a worry. It might just almost come up as a disappointment even before something has not happened. Does that make sense? You already planned for something to not happen. So instead of planning for it not to happen, be curious about what actually potentially could happen. Give the worry or the disappointment or the thoughts of that away to your angels. Like, dear angels, can you please help me, guide me through this situation? Can you please hang on to my worry a little bit so that I can feel lighter around this situation? Whatever your prayer is, whatever your asking is, like just, yeah, because there's a peaceful resolution to this. It's not just a resolution, it's a peaceful resolution. So if there's something going on in your immediate surrounding, if there's something you've been thinking, whether it's your own life or someone that's dealing with a lot of stuff around you right now that you maybe have had a lot like to do with, it can't be something you heard about. It's something that you're it's something that you are really like engaged in, really a part of. That thing is going to have a peaceful resolution. If this is you looking for a job, if this is you wanting to make a move, a literal move, if this is something around relationships, it's going to be peaceful resolution. So just have that with you. October, 6 weeks, give or take, into the future. There's a big yes. There's a change. There's transformation. You might need to rise above it constantly a little bit. Like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Like, Yeah, but like almost be a little bit I don't know, arrogant around it. Like, I don't care. It set me back again. So what? I'm going to just rise above it. And if there's worry along the way, I'm just going to ask my angels. Have like a no crap policy right now. Like, you just move on in spite of whatever throws at you. Okay. That's what I have for you for the month of October. I just want to again say there seems to be a lot of shifts for you in your season, Aries season, around April. March, April is like a big shift going on there for you, I feel. Okay. Thank you so much, Aries, for being here, for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me a lot. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.